Welcome. Today we are going to master the academic talk listening task by breaking down a professor's lecture on a fascinating psychological phenomenon. We will focus on identifying the core definition, tracking the evidence provided, and understanding the broader implications discussed in the talk. If you want to sharpen your listening skills and ace the TOEFL, make sure to subscribe to myTOEFL for more step-by-step guides. Let's continue our learning journey together and get you the score you deserve. Listen closely as the professor introduces a specific psychological concept. Try to note the initial experiment's goal and the unexpected results that followed.
Listen to a talk in a sociology class.
Today, we're going to discuss the Hawthorne Effect, a psychological phenomenon where individuals modify their behavior in response to their awareness of being observed. This concept originated from research conducted in the 1920s at Western Electric's Hawthorne Works, a factory near Chicago. Initially, researchers wanted to determine if changing the level of lighting in the workspace would increase worker productivity. They found that when lighting was increased, productivity went up. However, surprisingly, productivity also increased when the lighting was dimmed or even kept exactly the same. The workers felt valued because they were receiving special attention from the observers, which motivated them to work harder. Essentially, their performance improved because they knew they were being studied, not because of the light bulbs. A similar effect was noted in medical research, where patients in clinical trials often show improvement simply because of the increased care and monitoring they receive from doctors. This makes it difficult for scientists to determine if a new drug is truly effective, or if the patient is just responding to the extra attention from medical staff. The primary implication of the Hawthorne effect is that it highlights the complexity of human subjects in social science research. A major limitation, however, is that it suggests truly natural behavior may be impossible to capture in a laboratory setting. Once people realize they are being watched, they unconsciously shift toward what they believe is the desired behavior. Understanding this bias is critical for designing more accurate studies that account for the unavoidable influence of the observer.
Listen to a talk in a sociology class. The context of a sociology class tells us to focus on how individuals interact within groups and how their social environment influences their actions. Professor. As a professor, the speaker will likely present a structured argument, moving from a formal definition to specific case studies and concluding with a summary of the concept's importance. Today we're going to discuss the Hawthorne Effect, a psychological phenomenon where individuals modify their behavior in response to their awareness of being observed. In this opening, the professor defines the Hawthorne Effect, explaining that it occurs when people modify their behavior simply because they know they are being watched. This concept originated from research conducted in the 1920s at Western Electric's Hawthorne Works, a factory near Chicago. The professor provides a historical anchor by mentioning Western Electric's Hawthorne Works, which establishes where the foundational research for this concept took place. Initially, researchers wanted to determine if changing the level of lighting in the workspace would increase worker productivity. This sentence outlines the initial variable being tested, which was whether changing the level of lighting would have a direct impact on how much the workers produced. They found that when lighting was increased, productivity went up. The initial data seemed to confirm a simple correlation, as the researchers observed that productivity went up when the workspace was made brighter. However, surprisingly, productivity also increased when the lighting was dimmed or even kept exactly the same. The word surprisingly is a major transition here, signaling that the results defied expectations because productivity rose even when lights were dimmed. The researchers concluded that the physical environment was less important than the social factor of being part of an experiment. This is the core realization of the study. The social factor of the experiment itself was more powerful than any change to the physical environment. The workers felt valued because they were receiving special attention from the observers, which motivated them to work harder. The professor explains the motivation behind the change, noting that special attention made the workers feel important and motivated them to perform better. A similar effect was noted in medical research, where patients in clinical trials often show improvement simply because of the increased care and monitoring they receive from doctors. First, to show the theory's versatility, the professor introduces a similar effect found in medical research, where patients improve due to the care they receive rather than the medicine. This makes it difficult for scientists to determine if a new drug is truly effective or if the patient is just responding to the extra attention from medical staff. This highlights a major challenge for researchers. It is hard to tell if a treatment is truly effective or if the subject is just reacting to extra attention. The primary implication of the Hawthorne effect is that it highlights the complexity of human subjects in social science research. The professor shifts to the primary implication, emphasizing that the complexity of human subjects makes social science much more difficult than physical science. A major limitation, however, is that it suggests truly natural behavior may be impossible to capture in a laboratory setting. A major limitation of research is introduced here, the idea that a laboratory setting might actually prevent us from seeing how people naturally behave. Once people realize they are being watched, they unconsciously shift toward what they believe is the desired behavior. She describes the internal process of the subjects, noting they unconsciously shift their actions toward what they perceive as the desired behavior of the study. Understanding this bias is critical for designing more accurate studies that account for the unavoidable influence of the observer. The lecture concludes with a call for understanding this bias, which is necessary if scientists want to produce more accurate studies in the future. What is the main topic of the lecture? This is a main topic question, which means we need to identify the central theme that connects the factory study, the medical examples, and the concluding limitations. Let's evaluate the options. Let's analyze option A. A comparison of medical clinical trials and factory labor laws. This option is incorrect because the professor never discusses labor laws, and the comparison between the two fields was about psychological effects, not legal ones. Now, let's check what option B suggests. The impact of observation on human behavior during research studies. This choice perfectly captures the lecture's focus on the impact of observation on human behavior, which defines the Hawthorne effect mentioned at the start. Here is option C. Let's see if it fits. How to improve industrial productivity through better worker benefits. While worker benefits might seem related to productivity, the lecture was about social observation, not financial or physical benefits provided to the staff. Finally, let's look at option D. The history of lighting technology in early American factories. This is a distractor. Lighting technology was simply the tool used in the experiment, not the main subject the professor wanted us to learn about. The most accurate answer is option B, since the entire lecture explores how being part of a study changes the way people act. According to the professor, what happened when the lighting was dimmed at the factory? This question asks for a specific detail regarding the dimmed lighting condition. We need to find the response that describes the worker's output during that phase. Let's analyze option A. The researchers realized the workers were unable to see their tasks. The professor never stated that workers were unable to see. The focus was on their productivity levels, which actually went up despite the darkness. Now, let's check what option B suggests. The workers demanded a return to the previous lighting levels. There is no evidence that workers demanded a return to high lighting. The study observed their behavior without mentioning any verbal complaints or demands. Here is option C. Let's see if it fits. The productivity of the workers continued to increase. This is the correct detail. The professor noted that productivity continued to increase even when the researchers made the environment less ideal. Finally, let's look at option D. The factory was forced to close due to poor visibility. The claim that the factory was forced to close is a complete fabrication and was never mentioned in the lecture text. Therefore, what can be inferred about participants in a scientific experiment? This question asks us to infer something about participants. We need to look for a choice that reflects how their awareness of a study changes their natural state. Let's analyze option A. They may act differently than they would in their daily lives. This is a valid inference because the professor states that people unconsciously shift their behavior, meaning they aren't acting as they would in their daily lives. Now, let's check what option B suggests. They prefer working in dark environments over brightly lit offices. The lecture does not suggest that people prefer working in dark environments. It only says they worked hard there because they were being observed. Here is option C. Let's see if it fits. They are likely to ignore the presence of researchers after 1 hour. The professor never mentions that subjects ignore the presence of researchers after 1 hour. The Hawthorne effect implies the influence of the observer persists. Finally, let's look at option D. They are usually more concerned with financial rewards than attention. While money is often a motivator, the professor explicitly states that special attention was the key factor in this effect, not financial rewards. The most accurate answer is option A, since the core of the Hawthorne effect is that people deviate from their normal habits when they know they are being studied. Why does the professor mention medical clinical trials? This question asks why the professor brings up medical clinical trials. We need to identify the logical connection between the factory study and this medical example. Let's analyze option A to explain why modern medicine is more expensive than industrial research. Cost, or being expensive, was never a topic discussed by the professor. The focus remained on the psychological bias of the subjects. Now, let's check what option B suggests. To show that drugs are more effective than lighting changes. The professor mentions that it is hard to tell if drugs are effective, but she doesn't use the example to claim that drugs are better than light changes. Here is option C. Let's see if it fits. To provide another example of the Hawthorne effect in action. This is the correct answer. The medical example serves to provide another example of the Hawthorne effect, showing it applies to patients as well as workers. Finally, let's look at option D. To argue that doctors are more observant than factory managers. The lecture is not a comparison of the skills of doctors and factory managers. It is about the reactions of the people being observed in those settings. The most accurate answer is option C, since the professor uses the medical context to illustrate that the Hawthorne effect is a widespread issue in various types of research. To succeed in TOEFL listening, always pay attention to how a professor uses specific examples to support a broader concept. Identifying transition words like however or similarly will help you follow the lecture's logical structure and anticipate the questions.